people gotta stop getting so angry. All right, let's fix it. So we don't have to necessarily put it in a shaft extractor. Simple as a vise, nice rubber padded grip. We can just go ahead, put the shaft in here, tighten this down. Now, if you had a graphite shaft, the process is a little bit more difficult. You twist and rotate it, you're gonna unravel that graphite inside of there. With a steel shaft, we can twist and just pull this thing off. Our torch or heat gun, just something to apply some heat. Just a couple seconds, pressure, and just like that, head slides right off. So we'll take our wire brush here, put it inside of a drill, clean this out. Other thing you want to have is a pick, dig down to the bottom of the hosel, clean out all the stuff that's kind of clinging to the bottom. Put some acetone on a Q-tip, clean up the inside of this hosel. In reference their old fulfillment sheet, 272.8 was the number that we had his 7-iron built to the first time, 268.1 to grab a 6-gram tip weight. So we've got our tip weight here. We're gonna take some pliers. They're brass, so it's a really soft material. You wanna take this process kind of slow, recheck what your tip weight weighs. Perfect, that's exactly what we're looking for. You always wanna make sure, whether it's steel or graphite, that you're prepping that surface. You always wanna make sure you prep it above your hosel. Now put our tip weight in. Even that little 30 seconds of an inch, it does make a difference. Whenever you're putting it in, you wanna make sure the tip weight's in there before you check it for length. You always wanna make sure you have a specific point that you're going for. You want a nice, clean, straight cut. Just kind of put this at a little bit of an angle, file down those sharp points. So now it's nice and smooth. When you go to put a grip on, you don't have any burrs of the shaft that are gonna catch and tear your grip. This is a dry build, so nothing's glued yet. So this number that we look at is gonna be lower. We have to remember that we still have epoxy and a ferrule, so there's gonna be more weight that gets put down at the bottom of the club head. This is sitting at about D1.5 epoxy and a ferrule, increase by about a point, and then once we get the grip installed, it's gonna go up about another half point. 3M DP810 epoxy. This is the best epoxy that we use in the industry. Our quick center shafting beads give it a little bit of extra grit, and you will want to apply it pretty liberally. Now we're going to apply some to the shaft. Barrel slides on over top. You always want to twist and rotate a slightest bit of epoxy down the inside of the shaft, just a little bit on the rim. Take our tip weight. I like to just kind of roll it around in the epoxy, make sure that there's no rattles or vibrations. You always want to twist and rotate. You see that black line that's on there? We want to make sure that that's at the 12 o'clock position. A couple taps, nothing crazy. We just are listening for a nice solid thud. We like to use these pads when we work with a Mitchell loft and line machine. You do want to make sure that these are good and tight because you're putting a lot of force. So keeping it tight in there so it doesn't shift around is very, very important. You want to angle yourself so you're pushing to de-loft, but you're also going to push up to upright the golf club. You don't have to apply a lot of force to it. To recenter it in the machine for 32 degrees aloft, 64.5 on our lie. We're going to put this in our clamp. One piece of double-sided tape here. Just want to smooth out any bumps, some grip solvent here. Just let it pour out of the butt cap. Apply constant force so it slides on there. Now that we have this all cleaned off, we just got to throw a shaft band on it, and we are ready to send this back to the customer.